Rishi, what's your assessment of the weekend?
Oh yeah, I suppose it was a game with a few different quarters. First quarter was good. We were well and truly in the game, and then I suppose they got in a couple of runs and kicked numerous goals, which obviously isn't great. You want to stop those, but that's where we're at. We learn from that and hopefully put some things in place to stop those next time it happens.
Is it kind of annoying? You started playing some pretty good footy weeks previous, and then you fall down against West Coast.
Oh, I wouldn't. You don't want to look at it too much like that. It's I suppose we take the positives out of the game, and the way footy is, if we can stop those and potentially score the other way, it can all turn around scoreboard-wise pretty quick. But we speak about the process a lot, and that's important. It's not necessarily about, I suppose, where we're at as a group, the wins and losses. We want to win every game we play, but we look at the process and what we can fix.
Coach was criticised a fair bit for resting the likes of Hipwood and McCluggage. Do you think you made the right decision there?
Oh, definitely. It's an interesting one. I've obviously been there, and in my first year I think I played every game and got to the end of the year and I was exhausted. So the way footy is these days, the demands of AFL footy, physically and mentally, it's invaluable to have a weekend off. Good timing. They can kind of attack the last month of footy, and we can welcome those guys back. So definitely a smart move. I'm sure he would have spoken to the sports science guys and all that about it, but he's been around footy long enough, so I think it's a good call.
Your coach said he thought you just went back into your shells a bit against the Eagles. Is that what you felt watching the replay, and what have you learnt from watching the review, I suppose?
Yeah, we've moved on pretty quick. Obviously, we had the long travel and the 6-day break. Obviously a shorter week, so we've got to move on pretty quick, but I'd agree with that. We probably went away from how we wanted to play it at certain patches, and predominantly in those patches where they were scoring pretty heavily. So as we kind of speak about, we want to play our way, and I think matches in the past against very good teams, we've shown that I suppose our footy can match it with any side in the competition. It's just a matter of playing that way for long enough.
You showed that the first time you played the Bulldogs. I suppose you attacked and played on and got a big lead on them down at Etihad. Do you take some confidence from that ahead of this weekend?
Absolutely. It's as I said, we believe our best footy can match it with any team in the competition. It's just a matter of, I suppose, playing that for long enough. We probably played for 3 quarters in that game, and then obviously a quality side like the Bulldogs, reigning premiers, overran us in the last quarter when we maybe slipped away from that. But that's kind of one of our goals, is to play a consistent 4-quarter Lions footy, and I suppose the W's would take care of itself.
It's a bit annoying they've been a little bit inconsistent this year as well, but they were pretty good against Essendon on the weekend.
Yeah, the last month they've kind of played some very good footy, so obviously reigning premiers, been a little bit up and down early in the year, but they've definitely hit their straps, and they'll be pushing for finals footy as a few teams around that spot, but we're looking forward to hopefully, I suppose, causing a bit of imbalance in that kind of race for a few teams in the I suppose finishing games of the season, and obviously in front of our home fans here at the Gabba as well. We love playing here and got back-to-back games at the Gabba, so looking forward to the first ones again against a quality opposition for sure.
You rested the young guys last week, and the club didn't challenge the Dane Zorko suspension, obviously with the thought of getting him back this week and getting the young guys back. So you must really rate your chances this weekend, having all those bodies available again.
Well, I suppose, as I said before, we kind of go into each game, no matter who we're playing or where we're playing, pretty confidently that I suppose where we're at as a group, we're obviously pretty honest about where we are and where we want to head. So we back ourselves in every week, knowing obviously that it's not always going to be, but yeah, we're definitely going to win or we're definitely going to lose kind of thing. But we go into each game, as I said before, if we play the way we want to play, then I think we've shown that we can match it with the best. It's just about bringing that for 4 quarters come game day.
It's probably your best season for a couple of years. Anything you can put that down to?
Oh, not really anything in particular. I've spoken about it before, but when we spoke to Fags early in the year, when I suppose before the season actually started, we spoke about having my best footy ahead of me, and that's still the goal. I feel I've got a lot of growth left in me, but yeah, I think with the team playing better, it kind of coincides that I can be a little bit more consistent and play some better footy. So I definitely take team performance and team growth over personal growth, but I think they kind of work together hand in hand.
Forgive me for not knowing, but when are you contracted to them?
I got 4 more years post this season, so
That's very good. You see a bright future here in Brisbane?
absolutely, yeah. It was obviously I signed before Fags arrived here, so I kind of saw that. But ever since him and the likes of David Noble and a few other additions in the footy department and upstairs, I've seen massive growth and massive excitement that hopefully our fans can see as well, and you guys can see as well.
You managed to shake free of some close attention on the weekend, which has been something you've struggled with a lot. Was there anything you did different there? Is it a mindset thing or a physical thing, or what did you put that down to?
Oh, not really. I've kind of obviously going to games, you want to expect that it's going to happen. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But it's something that I'm learning, and you kind of have to learn and to deal with over time. It's not really a 1 week to another fix kind of thing. So it'll be something that I'll just continue to, I suppose, battle on with and do what I can week to week.
We've seen how effective tagging Johannesen can be this season. Are you guys going to do that to him?
We haven't gotten to the nitty-gritty as yet this week. He's played, I suppose, a couple of different roles. He's been forward a bit more and not always running off half-back, but you never know. I'm sure the coaches might have something up their sleeves.
Do you sort of see a bit of similarity to where he is now to where you were a few years ago, where a lot of potential came through and then everyone put a lot of attention on him, and you sort of see a bit of yourself in the way he's getting treated at the moment?
Oh, I don't know, to be honest. It's I've only kind of played a bit more half-back this year, but obviously if you're getting tagged, you're getting tagged. Doesn't really matter where you're playing across the ground, but you take those things as compliments. He's obviously a good player. That's the reason why teams are doing it. So you take the positives out of it and learn from it and learn to deal with it over time, as I spoke about.
And Daniel, just a question for us. 2 debutants on the weekend. As a senior player, how did you feel watching them in their first game?
It was very exciting, going into the game. Obviously, we've got the big travel to Perth and we're leading into the game, and obviously with Rocky's 150th as well. So pretty exciting, kind of both ends of the spectrum in a way, to be able to celebrate a stalwart and then welcome 2 new guys to, I suppose, start their careers and wear the jumper proudly. So it was exciting. It was disappointing we couldn't get the win for those 3 guys, but at the same time you can take the positives. I had to chat to both the young guys after the game and spoke about what they felt about the game, what they thought about the game, and it also brought back some good memories. It seems like yesterday I played my first game, even though it was a while ago, but it's an exciting, special moment, not only for them but their families and all their friends that have supported them along the way.